So this one is for all the marbles, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2.5, 2.5, and whoever wins this wins. I mean, if it ties, he wins, but ties are pretty unlikely. So it's coming down to the final game. We've got Gamble, so I guess the first thing to look at is, can you do anything interesting with Gamble? Bandit and Jester are both potentially nice targets for gambling. There's no plus buy though, so I don't think there's going to be like amazing gain in play. There's also not a great way to get rid of the... Yeah, with no plus buy, that means you've got to buy provinces one at a time. And then once you're doing that, I'm not seeing a good way for the gamble-centric thing to not trip over the provinces. So I feel like it can't be that. For context, the deck that I was contemplating was just like a deck that fills your deck with nothing but like golds, bandits, jesters, and then gambles through the entire deck every turn during the buy phase. And those can be strong, but they can also be very rickety. And so if you have to province once per turn, you'll get tripped up gambling and hitting provinces. So now I'm thinking something more like money-ish. So the second alternative is you could do like Cathedral, Bandit, and then buy provinces relatively early. Add like a Haven or two to smooth it out and avoid awkward Cathedral hands. You can consider building. There's technically gains with duplicate, and so you could try to do something with like heralds, plazas, moats, and gestures. That's definitely possible. You're still limited to one buy per turn. You could potentially afford to lose the province split like 3-5 and come back, I think, with that deck by just duplicating some duchies. It still seems a bit awkward, though. Duplicate is not a very strong gainer. So, do we want to try to build up a bunch with duplicate, or do we just want to give up one building and play like bandit money? I think either way, it surely starts with Cathedral. Yeah, he had the 5-2. It makes sense that he would gamble and buy Cathedral. Cathedral's really strong. Seems kind of necessary here for any version of the decks. I think here I just take silver. This is a really sad draw. This is not good. I mean, I guess it depends on what my strategy is. I was leaning towards the bandit idea, and if your goal is to like hit 5 and buy a bandit, this means I'm hitting 4 here and 4 here, which is really sad. If I'm trying to build with like the duplicate stuff, then this is less bad. Which I guess maybe we're doing that then. Maybe we're going to duplicate some stuff. I'm for sure going to want guides soonish. The benefit of guide is Cathedral's naturally reducing your hand size down to 4. And so aside from the general reliability that guide provides, it also is kind of like functionally a caravan, I guess I would think of it as, because every other turn a guide lets you discard your hand and draw back to 5 after cathedraling. And so if you like, the first 2 guides you get are just like caravans, which is kind of nice. You know, I probably shouldn't have called the duplicate on the Haven. That was silly of me. I should have waited and called the duplicate on whatever I bought this turn. We'll overpay and top deck a duplicate. And I'll probably take 2 guides here. I should focus more. I feel like I'm slipping into the mentality I had last game. And, well, this game, there's a lot on the line. Yeah, so he's taking Jester. That makes sense. I will want Gestures. I also just in general want like a lot of Heralds, Plazas, Jester, Duplicate, such things. I presume he takes the silver. Like, silver's not amazing for these decks, but it's better than nothing, and I mean, you're gonna need, if nothing else, junk defeated cathedral eventually. Please hit an action. Well, that's not making me happy. So here, I'm gonna buy the Haven. Actually, I'm gonna buy a moat now, aren't I? He's got 2 gestures already. But I think I'm not gonna duplicate it. Okay, this is good. I think I want plazas now. They're less draw than the heralds, but I think I have more draw than I need with just the herald that I've got and the moat, I think. And the heralds will be sad if they don't hit. Well, I am upset that my moat is on bottom because I would love to have blocked that. I think gestures are in order soon for me. He doesn't have a moat yet, and the gains are really nice. Not sure if I'll hit 5 this turn. It seems viable. I'm going to trash Copper, Call Guide, and then I'll have a Herald in this hand and a discard full of action cards. So I think it seems possible for me to do it. I don't really want treasures in this deck, but I think it's kind of valuable to have at least 1 treasure to keep around to turn Overdraw into coffers via Plaza. So I want to make sure not to trash all of my treasures, I don't think. I probably should have discarded with the first Plaza. I have even more draw than I thought I did. But it's fine, actually. I'll just set Haven aside with Haven, and all works out. And now I think it is gesture time for me. Okay, yeah. This is actually a great hand. I'm really happy with this hand. I was about to freak out. I was like, oh, this is terrible. I've top decked all my terminals, but I've got a guide down. But actually, look, I've got a copper. I can trash the copper with Cathedral. Then I can call my guide. I've got a moat to block his gestures. And then all these stop cards, the duplicate and gestures. And the moat's a draw card, of course, but most of these are stop cards. Will be at the bottom of my deck for me to draw back to. So I'd say, on the whole, this looks like a pretty good hand. There's a silver here and no silvers in my discard, so I want to wait to play the Herald until it's looking at the discard pile like that. And then those cards are Moat, Duplicate, and Jester, right? I got 3 gestures? I got 3 gestures. Moat, Duplicate, Jester. So I don't think I'm playing the moat this turn in any case. So I'm for sure not drawing one of them. If I play both plazas, I have 5 actions. Maybe I'm just setting the silver aside. He bought a moat. He hasn't shuffled his deck yet, though, so the moat can't be in his hand. I think I'm setting the silver aside. Not super happy with this draw, but it was the draw I won was the moat to be on bottom. But there's only a 1/3 chance of that. She'll take that. She'll take that. And I shall take that. And then I think I want to buy a second moat. I'm not sure which to duplicate. I think I'd rather duplicate the plaza. I do not want to trigger this shuffle, I don't think. Oh! That was so... I forgot about gamble. I should have just gambled the duplicate. That was so silly of me. I passed up on like a free moat, basically. That's not the end of the world, but it was definitely misplay. I thought about it like the moment I was confirming my buy. Yeah, I knew I had a gamble on top, or I knew I had a duplicate on top, and I had extra money. I could have just gambled it and gotten one more moat for free for no cost whatsoever, and I didn't, and that was a mistake. I don't like this kingdom very much, to be honest. Certainly not the best kingdom ever to resolve the final game of a championship match on. It feels like there's going to be a good deal of randomness involved. And do you top deck your moat? Don't you? What does the gesture happen to hit? Who knows? Do your heralds collide? There's a lot of like annoying variables going on here. So I've got what exactly here? I've got one haven, the silver on it. I think I want to cathedral the silver and then call a guide. Am I overdrawing here? I think so. I think I can afford to discard this. Oh yeah, he's got a moat. Fair enough. Maybe I have to set both of these gestures aside and take some more heralds. I want duplicates soon. Like I think my next buy is going to be duplicates most likely, but I don't know that I can support that right now. I still feel silly passing up on a free moat because that'd be really helpful. I'm getting kind of lucky, honestly, in top decking my moats. I do have more than he does, and he top decked his singular moat, so I guess the luck is reciprocal. But I passed up the ability to have more moats, and I'm still managing to block his attacks anyway. Anyways, I want more duplicates, I think, because they're going to be the main gainer. These gestures are going to become unreliable with moat around. But I don't think my deck was able to support playing like 5 duplicates a turn yet. Oh, he provinced. I totally missed that. That makes sense to me. Like if you take a ton of duplicates, you are threatening to like take tons of duchies, but you can't double province it in any way here. And so there's definitely some logic to provincing early because it's not easy to catch up. Yeah, he's just keeping up with the provincing. So we want to do, I think, cathedral first, trash the silver, call the guide, and then put the justice into the hand after calling guide. I don't have any treasures, so it's not going to be all that easy to make use of the extra draw that I've now got. But provided he doesn't have a moat on top, I might be able to gain and play some stuff here. You gain, yes, thank you. Duplicate that. Continue. Continue. You gain, yes. Don't want to duplicate that, I don't think. It was giving him the option to duplicate his curse, which he, for some reason, declined. I can't imagine why. So I can't province here even if I want to. That's not a huge issue. I think I need to take some more duplicates here. I think my win condition is catching up to him by trying to take a bunch of duchies at once on an opportune turn. I'm happy I've top decked my mode again. I'm not necessarily in a good spot. I'm not sure. I mean, my deck is stronger, but he's got 2 provinces, and catching up in this kingdom is not trivial. So like he provinces, I province, he provinces, I province. All this is, I guess, not even guaranteed because I'm not even sure I have 8 payload in my deck. And so for me to province, actually, I think I need to gain some sort of payload off of his deck with my gestures, which, you know, if he top takes mode, I'm guaranteed not to be able to do. But even supposing I managed to get like a silver or something from him, he provinces, I provinces, he provinces, I province, and then he provinces and I take, what, like 5 duchies? Is that enough? Probably isn't, is it? Yeah, this is just non-trivial. I think I do call guide here. The 1 draw does matter. Okay, his moat was 1 from the top. Sad. I'll take it, I guess. Don't want him to have it, I suppose. It's probably the best reason for taking it. Okay. Play some duplicates. Can I get something good? I really need something with money. Thank you. That's exactly what I needed. I shall happily take the silver. I think 1's enough, right? I don't want to set aside the moat because then it's less likely to be able to be revealed. So now I've got to think how this endgame goes. I mean, I've got 4 duplicates down, but he's got 2 duplicates down. So he also has some pressure on the duchies. It's like if I just take 4 duchies now, that's, or 5 duchies is how many I can do. If I take 5 duchies, then I'm at 15 points. I think I'm just gonna province. I mean, I gotta do provinces at some point. I gotta do the duchy thing at some point, but I think it makes sense to do the province thing first and the duchy thing later, because the duchy thing is gonna hurt my deck control a lot. I think I have to. He has to dud here somehow for me to win. I believe. I don't think I can effectively outscore him if things just continue on as normal. But his deck is pretty reliable. What did he trash? He trashed his curse, of course. Sad. I'm not sure what he does. You could take triple duchy here. And then I'm in an awkward spot because if I do 5 duchies back, now the duchy pile is empty, and maybe he plays a duplicate and buys a plaza. And then I don't take the duchies back, well then he could take duchies again, and then all these duplicates that I have are going to waste all of a sudden because they were meant to gain duchies and they can't anymore. So I think he should just take 3 duchies here, and it puts me in, I think, an awkward position. My hopes really stem on his deck failing. Like, I've got more actions. My deck is better and more reliable, but there's just not easy ways to come back from a points deficit in this kingdom with no plus buy. And, I mean, his deck isn't that reliable. It apparently doesn't even have 8 money in it at the moment. But, I mean, it's still got a decent number of heralds, and it's got enough to potentially get the job done. Maybe what I do if he takes a bunch of duchies is I just continue on with provincing. And then the hope is he just never hits 8 again. He could win without hitting 8 again if he manages to empty the duchies entirely on his own and then empty the plazas before I can take enough provinces to catch up from that. Because, I mean, 18 points plus 24 from duchies is a lot of points. It would take me a lot of... I'm not even sure if... Would taking 4 provinces be enough? Yeah, if he managed to empty the duchies and the plazas, I couldn't even outscore that, I don't think. So he could, I think, given his position, try to just play the rest of this game with 6 money and empty duchies and plazas. Jester is a weird choice. I guess he's really hoping on gaining stuff. It's also economy. I was thinking that triple duchy just looked really scary to me, but that's not what he went with. So here I don't think I want to trash any of these particularly much. Now that he's got more gestures, I don't want to kill the moat, and I value the rest of these cards as well. So I think I put 1 haven in my hand. Oh, that's a herald. So I put 1 haven in my hand and then trash that. And then this hand is generally pretty good, so I guess I'm not calling my guide. Oh, that's sad. And I was kind of taking for granted that my herald was going to hit, just given the composition of my deck. But there are a few non-action cards in it. I guess I take that. I don't want him to have it. I don't want to duplicate it, though. I don't want to lower the piles too much. Discard. Okay, so this is a good spot to be in. Now I can bank up a bunch of extra coffers, which will come in handy potentially. Take a moat. His moat just keeps being on the top of the deck. 1 card too short. I don't think I want to duplicate it though. I'm lowering piles. Maybe I need to stop playing these gestures. Look at the pile situation. Uh-oh. He only has 1 duplicate down though. Hello. I like you. Do I have a win here? I don't think so, right? Let me just contemplate for a moment. If I call... I've already gained this one, right? Yeah. So if I call 3 duplicates now, then I empty the duplicate pile. Then I replay all 3 of them. I would be able to take... I would have 5 duplicates on the mat, I think. So I'd be able to take 6 duchies, which would be a points lead. If I could hit a gesture of his, that would look... Oh, this is a weird position to be in. All of a sudden, now I'm wishing I hadn't wasted all the overdraw that I had with the plazas on coffers, because I'm not sure if I can draw all that. But obviously I didn't know I was going to hit this duplicate. Okay. This is weird. So I only need to gain 5 duchies to have a points lead. And there's a jester down there that could hit something of his. YOLO, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what happens. Continue. 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 Is this a win? I feel like this might be a win, I think. Oh, maybe it's too few points. I needed to hit a jester for it to definitely work. Now I gotta think about this. So if I gain the plaza, I mean, the plaza is going to be lower either way, but if I gain it, I can call this duplicate on it. And then I've emptied the plazas now. And then I need to take 5 duchies, which means I need to get 4 duplicates back onto the mat. Can I do that? Oh, I think the answer is no, isn't it? Shoot. Because, I mean, I believe these cards are 4 duplicates and a silver. But I can't... I can't draw and play all of them. This might have been foolish. This is probably foolish, wasn't it? Oh my... No! I did it again, didn't I? I forgot about Gamble. I just totally forgot about Gamble. I just passed up the win. Or did I? Yeah, I think... Did I just throw the game? I did it twice. I did the same mistake twice. Well, you don't learn anything from the second kick of a mule. I totally overlooked that I could just gamble the last duplicate. Well, now I've got to take the duchies, right? I'm pretty sure I just missed a win. This might be enough to win anyway. We'll find out. I do have 2 guides down, which is good for my likelihood of hitting. But I didn't get a moat in my starting hand. So he's got an easy win here if he manages to jester either a plaza or a jester and then hit one of my duchies. That'll give me a curse, then he can buy a province, and that'll be a win. Actually, he didn't need to hit province. He has a duplicate down, so he just needs to... Yeah, he's empty jesters. He needs to hit a duplicate of mine. Not a duplicate. He needs to hit a duchy of mine, which gives me a curse. Then he buys a duchy and duplicates it, and then he wins. Oh, he doesn't need that. He just... Gosh. Yeah, he's going to tie here. He'll take the tie. And a tie is enough for him because... Oh, or he can gamble through this. If he takes a 3-3, he's already won because 3-3 is a win for him. This is unnecessary, but I guess he was just going for an outright win. I think I just threw the championship, didn't I? Oh, I feel so silly. Oh well, there's always next season. In between this season and next season, there will be the Dominion Online Championships, the client championships, though. And so I'm playing in that. I made it to quarterfinals both the last 2 years. So the goal, hopefully, is to do better than that.